Hello, I'm Dr. Hamid Aydın. No matter where in the world you live, I have listed 7 reasons why having a hair transplant in Turkey is important for you. For these 7 reasons, I strongly recommend that you have your hair transplant done in Turkey. Choose a good clinic and have the procedure performed by a qualified doctor. Number 1 is extensive experience. I have been working exclusively in hair health and hair transplantation for over 25 years. Therefore, I have witnessed many times how a doctor's experience reflects on hair transplantation and hair loss treatments. In the same way, I have often seen how an experienced nurse, a hospital with expertise in operations and other services can significantly affect the outcome of a procedure, either positively or negatively. If you are also considering a hair transplant, I recommend coming to Turkey and making absolutely sure that your examination, channel opening and graft distribution are all performed by a doctor before undergoing a hair transplant operation. Number 2 is the hospital itself. A very good hospital provides you with many opportunities and can greatly influence the outcome of your hair transplant in a positive way. Third, I recommend choosing teams that follow an innovative medical approach. I recommend hospitals. So what are the innovations in hair loss? I recommend that you choose places that know what the innovations in hair transplantation are and how to apply them to patients, and even more importantly, like we do, lead the way in this field and enable other doctors to adopt these practices as well. Number 4 is high graft count. Here, it is necessary to distinguish between high graft count and unnecessary grafts. In other words, I am not in favor of unnecessarily high graft counts. But when it comes to high graft counts that are actually needed, like 4,500, 5,000 or around 4,000 grafts, these are usually the numbers we transplant and they fall within the safe range. Even if a high number of grafts is needed, I recommend choosing places where it is possible to achieve that. Again, no matter where in the world you come from, based on my own experience, one of the main reasons patients choose us, number 5 on the list, is because of our innovations in anesthesia and sedation. Patients know that they will experience almost no pain, and this assurance gives them the confidence to undergo a hair transplant operation, because after their hair transplant, they share this with other patients as well. These statements about not feeling any pain lead other people to choose Turkey and us for their hair transplant procedures. Number 6 is patient follow-up, because a hair transplant is not just a procedure of transferring hair. Afterwards, it is necessary to closely monitor the patient, prevent the loss of existing hair, keep the patient under observation with blood tests or other types of tests, inform the patient in advance about possible risks and take the necessary precautions. If you are considering a hair transplant operation, yes, this point is very important. You need to choose a place and a doctor who can monitor you. Number 7 is perhaps the most important point for you, but I saved it for last. Price. I won't say much about the price. However, I have to say that compared to countries like Europe and America, hair transplant prices in Turkey are lower, even though such a high number of grafts are transplanted and the procedures are done so well. In fact, I should mention that it's done at almost a quarter of the price. In Turkey as well, my only advice regarding price is that patients living in Turkey should not make their decision based solely on low prices, just like foreign patients mistakenly do. Everything has its own value and deserves fair compensation. Therefore, choose a place where you pay a price that matches the quality you receive. I have often witnessed that hair transplant operations done cheaply end up causing patients a lot of trouble later on. I strongly advise you to be very careful about this. Wishing you all a speedy recovery in advance.